Welcome everybody to yet another Coffee Time with Hako, the show where I have my morning coffee and then I app off into the void. Well met everybody, today we're having black coffee. I usually have a latte, but I was out of milk in the Ellen mug. Look at it, it's beautiful. If I can get it to focus, yeah, there we go. So, peeps, what are we going to be talking about today? We are going to be talking about Lucia. I've now played her for 24 hours-ish on the creator server. And when I get to that point of testing out the character, I usually take a little break, get myself a nice cup of coffee, and I give you like my first initial impressions of the character. Now we're still under NDA, so what I can talk about is like my experience with her, but I can't give you specific numbers and I cannot give you like actual footage from the server because we're still under NDA for like 2 more weeks. Also, since I'm very early on in my testing, things might change, they might still adjust her, and I might, unlock more stuff as I master the character. So, how would I rate my first 24 hours with Lucia? Dudes, I'm willing to give her a 9 out of 10. I say this a lot because the team does go for like very ambitious projects, but I will say that she feels like one of the most ambitious characters that they've ever done in terms of like how her kit works and in terms of like animations and whatnot. And she's very much a support that you like actually feel like you're playing. Like Astra Yao, she's amazing, she makes other agents like feel more fluent, but I don't feel like I'm playing my Astra Yao. With Lucia, you very, very much feel like you're actually playing the support that you spent your hard-earned pulls to get. Obviously, the creme de la creme of the kit is the ultimate where she gets up on a ethereal and then like just rushes into a foe. Honestly, like you need to try it out for yourself, but like ramming that ethereal into bosses and shit, it's just so much goddamn fun. I'd say by far the most fun support that we've had in the game. But fun is one thing. How is she strength-wise? I got some good news. I think the team set out to like make the Yusra, but for Rupture agents. So like we saw a huge like skyrocketing of power for anomaly teams with Yusra compared to Astra. Now we're gonna be seeing the same thing with Lucia for Rupture agents. Now once again, I'm early on in my testing, so this might change. But as of right now, running her in Deadly Assault, I've seen an overall team score increase of up to 40% compared to running Astra in that slot. And an overall team score increase of around 45 to 50% increase compared to Pan Jinhu. And now these are extremely hefty numbers, and I'm quite blown away with like how well she is performing in Rupture teams. And the teams that I've been mostly trying her out with has been Yishuan, like different versions of a Yishuan team, with Trigger as a stunner, with Yufu as a stunner, with Pan Jinhu as a third character, with Astra as a third character, with Caesar, like etc. But I've also tried her out a lot with Manato. And now this video is not going to be about Manato because I'm making one specifically regarding him as well. Let me just say that I think that the Manato havers or the Manato wanters are going to be kind of pleased. He is honestly so much fucking fun. But more on him in the next video. Her own engine is of course very cracked. It seems like she can get away pretty good with running Weeping Cradle if you don't want to go for her engine. But most testing that I have done right now has been with her own engine. I've done a few test runs with Weeping Cradle and some other engines, and Weeping Cradle seems to be able to do a pretty good job. And especially if you have a few stars on it. So strength-wise, she's here to like provide an equal big buff to what Yusua gave anomaly teams, but Lucia is here to do it for Rupture. Early testing shows an overall team increase of around 40% compared to the second best in slot, and quite frankly that is honestly phenomenal. Now I said in my last video before I had tested out Lucia that I think that she might be one of the most important characters of Season 2, and now after having tried her out, that has only strengthened my beliefs. I think Lucia is going to be extremely valuable to pick up, unless you're planning to skip Rupture altogether, which I would not advise you to do. And I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, like, how can we use Lucia outside of Rupture and like still have very good results? Like for example, you can take Yusua and you can run her in attacker teams, and it works really fucking well. Can we do the same with Lucia? still early on in the testing. Yes, from the looks of things, she herself have quite good modifiers, and I'm actually gonna try to like make main DPS Lucia work. We'll see. It might just fall flat, but I think there might be some potential. Now, one of the reasons why Joshua still works outside of Anomaly is that she provides like a shit ton of attack. Now, the shit ton of stats that Lucia provides are a lot of sheer force, something that is exclusive to only Rupture. So I'd say, can you take her out and put her into Rupture, like outside of Rupture? Yes, ish, maybe, a little bit, but it's not gonna be super great. However, also remember that on Lucia's banner, you will be able to get Manato, and like a fully maxed out Manato teamed up with a Lucia is gonna smoke a lot of like the older limited DPSs. It's actually really potent. So TLDR, incredibly fun. It's gonna be like the most key player in Rupture teams to come, and I do think that we're gonna be heading into a Rupture push. Great animations, great rotations, she honestly feels amazing to play. So overall impressions right now with everything combined, 9 out of 10. You know, I would even be willing to say 9.5 out of 10 because I don't know what my complaints would be. Maybe that she doesn't provide too much outside of Rupture, but you know, she's not trying to either. She is here to be the best in slot unit for any sort of Rupture agent, and I reckon she is gonna be it for quite a long time to come. So overall, I absolutely fucking love what they've done with Lucia, and I think most of you peeps will as well. So overall, I fucking love the direction they went with Lucia. I think they knocked it out of the park, and I think the general community will be very pleased once they get their hands on her. Do I wish she still had her old top? I do, but do I wish that we still had her old top instead? I do, but you know, I'll take the W in mounted ethereal combat instead. Anyway peeps, these are made to be short and sweet, so I'm gonna be wrapping it up and I'm gonna go back to testing Lucia. Also on this test server, like I'm gonna have a busy 2 weeks because there's also Mana to test out extensively and also the Soldier Zero Ambi buffs. And the next couple times are gonna be regarding those two. I don't know which one comes first, but you know, hit that subscribe button and you'll see for yourself. And if you want to pick up an Ellen mug, well, head to the link down in the description. Everybody, as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a big hug, and until next time, Hako out.
Just take it easy, lay back, fast the way I roll. So get off my tail, or else you will get to say hello to my jolly sharks. Got up, like don't you know? Don't you know? You should know that I'll fight them all. These sharks got up, like don't you know? Hurry up and get it done, but don't run my patience to the ground. If you need me here, these sharks got up, like don't you know? Keep it fun. When I try, I'm second to none.